Residents at a youth development center help greyhounds find their forever homes. A marker describes the founding of a Swiss settlement. Murray is our downtown destination. The arts have a showcase in Richmond. And a micro distillery gives Bowling Green a new spirit. Join us next for these stories on Kentucky Life. Hello, I'm Dave Shuffett. Welcome to Kentucky Life. Second chances can make all the difference, and second chances are at the heart of an innovative program that puts young women looking for a fresh start together with racing greyhounds looking for their forever homes. We're headed to Moorhead in Rowan County to take a look at this wonderful program. It's Greyhound Graduation Day, and everyone is excited. Today, Whitey and Jet Fly will go home with their new families. For too many greyhounds, when their racing careers are over, the future is bleak. For these dogs, the future is bright because they've learned everything they need to know to succeed in their new careers as family pets. They're the latest graduates of the Greyhound Rehabilitation Program at Moorhead Youth Development Center, a residential treatment facility for young ladies run by the Department of Juvenile Justice. The Greyhound program brings together the DJJ, the Development Center, Moorhead State University, and the Louisville chapter of Greyhound Pets of America. This 12-week program begins with the rescued greyhounds getting a checkup at Moorhead State University, where the vet tech students show the new handlers basic health care and grooming.
Seeing my students and the dog handlers and the greyhounds all come together in one place, and to see the interaction between those three entities is my biggest reward. I love to watch the interaction, to see that human-animal bond growing.
The girls have to earn the privilege of being dog handlers. They're responsible for the dog's daily care and teaching basic obedience. The girls socialize the greyhounds, exposing them to what they'll need to know about living in their new homes, and teaching them about things like stairs, slippery floors, and how to play.
I'm getting tired.
You can tell that the girls put a lot of work into the dogs there because they already know how to do all the things that straight from the track you have to teach them how to do.
We've had people who've adopted, one Moorhead dog and wanted the second. And matter of fact, I've got at least 3 people who's got 2 Moorhead dogs, so it's been a real great program for us.
The Greyhound program is even a part of the girls' schoolwork.
We took the Kentucky Core Content Standards and we linked those to the Greyhound program, and a combination of those brought together gives us English, gives us reading, gives us some history, gives us science. So we actually put together a Greyhound curriculum. It's a success for us because it does put our vocational education program in there. It puts in our treatment plans and it puts in our educational goals.
They're receiving grades and credits, and research shows that the higher their education level, the less likelihood you are going to recommit a crime. So you are, in essence, preventing the possibility of that child recommitting.
The Greyhound program emphasizes vocational opportunities for the young ladies.
One of the great advantages of working with Moorhead State is that some of the students of the Vet Tech program worked with our youth. For them to be able to see young ladies that are pretty close to their age, who have gone on to college, who are career-minded, who have devoted time and effort into becoming a vet, it's good for our girls to get to see that and get to interact with them, and I think that they take a lot of positives away from that interaction.
You know, if these girls can go out of here successfully completing the 12-week program, they have completed something in their life. So if we can get them out of here feeling good about themselves, knowing they could go volunteer at an animal shelter, they could go find somebody who grooms dogs and see if they need any help. It gives them a job it gives them a sense of self-worth.
Even if they don't choose to pursue an animal career, I'm hopeful that their experience with their greyhound will make them compassionate to other animals. The sense of accomplishment that they have gotten out of the program maybe leave them with some positive feelings about being a good citizen.
As the girls teach the greyhounds, they learn some lessons of their own.
They learn responsibility, they learn unconditional love, they learn just what a large amount of work goes into caring for something other than yourself. And so it causes them to reach beyond themselves and kind of dig deep. And it's very difficult for some of our kids who have been in the type of environments where they've had to worry about their own survival. They've had to worry about, just taking care of themselves, and for them to have to extend themselves towards something else has been excellent for them.
It's exciting because you're changing the life of someone in a way that will stay with them forever.
These ladies translate these 12 weeks into, we are giving these greyhounds a better life, because we're preparing them just like we're preparing ourselves academically, vocationally, and treatment-wise to be better individuals when we leave here.
The dog, it makes the family happy, the dog's happy, and if it going through Moorhead, the girls have learned a lot from it.
We all want the girls to succeed, so we give them all the tools. The dog is just one more tool. If these kids can go out of here with a GED and with knowing they've kept up with a dog for 12 weeks, 24/7, they can do anything.
They've completed something really important, and they've made a difference in a life.
The final lesson for the girls and the greyhounds is the hardest one. It's saying goodbye.
The whole time they're preparing to let them go to their forever home, but they still love them unconditionally, and the dogs love them back unconditionally.
It's kind of a bittersweet thing for the young ladies. They've known that's the goal for the entire time that they've worked with the dogs, to say at the end of this 12 weeks, I want this dog to be trained and ready to go to their forever home. After they've built this bond and built this connection, those dogs have gained a place in their heart forever.
A greyhound needs rescuing, and unfortunately, a whole lot of kids need rescuing. And that's what it's all about. It's about saving both of them, and we're able to save both of them at the same time.
If you'd like to hear more about Moorhead's Greyhound program, our website at ket.org/Kentucky Life has contact information for you. And join our Kentucky Life Facebook page to tell us about the interesting things going on in your community. I spend a lot of time driving across our great state, thinking about the people who have been here, the people who have passed through, and the people who have stayed. In Laurel County, off Highway 80, is a place known to all as Swiss Colony. It was founded in 1881, and it was Kentucky's largest foreign colony. In Switzerland, high land prices and a crisis in farming caused a mass immigration of Swiss to America. 3 Swiss capitalists made a place for these immigrants in Kentucky, selling 4,000 acres to the arriving colonists. Here they created their own little piece of Switzerland, naming their new town Bernstadt in honor of Bern, Switzerland's capital. They improved the farming in this area, and it became known for wine and cheese production. Though the population has dwindled considerably now, some longtime residents still hold on to their Swiss traditions and German language. In a Kentucky place still known as Swiss Colony. Eastern Kentucky University's new Center for the Performing Arts is off to an impressive start. It's already become a showcase for nationally recognized artists, and this state-of-the-art facility is guaranteed to give audiences a great experience. Deborah Hoskins, Executive Director of the new center, and Eastern's President Doug Whitlock give us a tour of this new home for the arts and the vision behind it.
The EKU Center for the Arts opened September 9th of this year, 2011. And we had an opening gala that was free to a select group of people that came in, and we got the kinks out by doing it that way. We had the Owensboro Philharmonic. We had Nick and Nina Clooney. We involved some of our military folks on campus. So it was a well-rounded night showing off the capabilities of this new center.
While the music and the entertainment was wonderful, our real objective that night was to really show off the center and what its capacity is. And we were happy with the way that it turned out.
From the moment that they got out of their cars, everything was supposed to have been done perfectly, so we could gauge from parking the cars to what it would be like standing in lines for refreshments, to picking up tickets, to what time the performance start, how long patrons would stay in their seats, and the familiarity of the venue itself. And they came in, and 2,100 people went, wow.
You know, a lot of times things won't live up to your expectations. This building, the way it turned out, the beauty of it, the outstanding acoustics, what it's doing for this area, and indeed for the state, in a cultural sense, has exceeded our expectations.
Well, this is a 128,000 square foot center. There's 2,100 seats inside the main theater, which we call the Grand Hall. And inside that, there are box seating. We have 17 box seats, compartments that people can enjoy. A lot of corporations have come in and purchased those. There's private attendance in each one of those, so it makes for a special evening.
The Center for the Arts will, for a long time, be one of the first things that comes to mind when people think of Eastern Kentucky University.
President Whitlock has a down-to-earth style. And he appeals to so many, his personality appeals across the board.
This place is going to have a huge economic development impact. There's just lots of research that shows that when businesses are looking to make a significant relocation, that one of the things they look at, in addition to the business climate and all those things that people first think of, are quality of life issues. Including health care, educational opportunities, and cultural opportunities.
Performances that we've got coming up are usually in major cities. Wynton Marsalis, Chris Bodie, Riverdance, Mannheim Steamroller, Aretha Franklin, Jane Monheit, Beauty and the Beast from Disney, other programs with the Temptations and Four Tops.
I'm really looking forward to December the 14th. We've got Jerry Seinfeld here. We've got the NPR radio show, Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, coming up. Garrison Keillor will be here in the not-too-distant future. Tomorrow night, one of my favorite musical groups, Mannheim Steamroller, is performing, and I've never seen them live. I've got a bunch of their CDs, and I understand their shows are spectacular, both from music and light. So I'm looking forward to that. But
we are wanting to be and striving to be Kentucky's showplace.
Willie Nelson was here just a couple weeks ago, and everybody here had a good time, including Willie, I think.
Well, Willie Nelson was a sold-out event, 2,100 people.
He performed for right at 2 hours without a break, and which I thought was pretty remarkable for a 78-year-old man. And it was classic Willie Nelson.
Whenever I first came here, the first thing people said was, we want Willie Nelson. Well, Willie Nelson doesn't do a whole lot of dates, particularly in Kentucky, maybe 2 or 3. So we were very fortunate to have him come here. And the excitement from this whole region looking forward to having such a place for cultural experiences in their lives. You know, they've had to drive to Lexington or Cincinnati or Louisville and other places, but now it's right here.
And I already know that there are people who've never been on this campus before, whose first introduction to this campus has been this building in the relatively short period of time that it's been open.
We're just 6 months into our venture here at the EKU Center for the Arts. But there's so much more to come because we will have lecture series and elevate what we want to do educationally here for our students.
And I think when this place opened, it was a game-changing moment for this region and for this state. We won't be the same again. I think we'll be profoundly better.
Kentucky audiences can look forward to great performances at the new center in Richmond. Now we're headed to another college town, and it's not just any college town, it's the home of my alma mater. Murray is a small town with wonderful outdoor opportunities all around it, and it's tonight's downtown destination. Today we travel west to the county seat of Callaway County. Murray, Kentucky, with a population area of around 37,000, is the 22nd largest city in Kentucky and home to my alma mater, Murray State University. I also got to visit where I used to work when I attended MSU. I caught up with my old boss, Victor Olazabal, still owner and manager of Victor's Restaurant for over 37 years.
Good to see you, old man. Man, what have you been up to?
A lot in the last 30 years.
Well, I've been stuck here for 37, living the American dream.
I know. I worked here for you, remember?
Oh, I remember
in
you
college,
well.
in college days, and here we are again. You're still here.
Well, it's so nice seeing you.
Yeah. Tell me about the shop or the sandwiches.
Well, you know, we're still growing. We're over 200 sandwiches now. Still, everything's homemade, made from scratch. No prepared meats like most of the sandwich shops these days. We still, when we make a meatball, we make it each one at a time.
Yeah.
We got a lot of unique sandwich combinations still, and then of course we got anywhere from a BLT to a burger to a hot dog. So we pretty well deal in everything. I know we're one of the longest standing restaurants that's the same place, same owner. People know us, so I'm glad to see you remembered us after all these years.
You worked me pretty hard here, Victor.
I know.
How could I forget?
I got a lot of ex-employees I've worked pretty hard through the years.
It's good to see you. I can't wait to eat a sandwich after all this time.
Well, I'll fix you right up.
All right. I should have known Victor wasn't going to let me get away without working off my lunch.
Well, Dave, have you done this in a while?
Not in quite a while.
Well,
Victor.
let's see if you still remember how.
All right. I should have known I couldn't come in here and eat lunch without having to work. I mean, you know. It's like riding a bike. I vacuumed these floors more times than I want to remember. I then made my way to the Murray Visitors Bureau, where I met with Main Street Project Manager Dina Wright, who told us all about downtown Murray.
Murray's downtown. It's a small little downtown with a great business mix of not only retail stores, but also restaurants and service-related industry. And it's just somewhere that people can come downtown and enjoy the day or the evening or maybe the weekend when we have events. And it's just a neat little town to enjoy the social activities of Murray, Kentucky. Murray is like many other small towns in that we're the original small town, the original part of Murray, Kentucky, where the mom and pops open up their stores, and we're more like a business incubator for those people who want to start their business off. And we're not into big boxes. We don't have the big chain stores, but we do have those people who maybe grew up in Murray, Kentucky, have lived here all their lives, and they wanted to have a store and give back to the community in many ways, not only in their store, but also when the schools and people need money, they tend to donate more than the big boxes. We moved here because of Murray State, which is a key part of Murray, Kentucky. If you're interested in going to college, or maybe you're here to retire, or you're here to be a professor at Murray State, a lot of people move here because of that university. And the lakes, being close to the lakes.
Yes.
That's pretty important too.
Kentucky and Berkeley, they still the largest man-made lakes in the country?
Yes, they are. Murray State University is in the top 10 universities for students who like to hunt and fish.
Now, you just don't find that anywhere, you know?
Not anywhere. Murray is very special in that. Well, we have two very large lakes, very accessible.
And the land between the lakes.
And it's just beautiful. People come from all over the country to come to Murray State University, and it's kind of like a hidden gem, so to speak. And Murray State has a very strong equine school. They have the rodeo team, and they have quarter horse shows all the time out at our exposition center.
And the only college rodeo team in the state, I believe.
Yes, can you believe that? And they go everywhere, and what a great group of kids.
Kentucky is known worldwide for its large bourbon distilleries. But in downtown Bowling Green, there's a new kid on the distillery block. Corsair Artisan Distillery makes small batches of spirits in pot stills, all by hand. Corsair is using the history of Kentucky's whiskey trade to distill some unique liquors with a modern twist.
I had been making wine, beer, and sake for years and really loved it. And my business partner, Andrew, had been making wine. His family they'd always grown up making wine. And we had actually had been making biodiesel. We were both fooling around with alternative energy.
And one day I kind of just got sick of it, and I said, Derek, if that barrel over there was full of whiskey instead of diesel fuel, I'd be a happier man. And he said, okay, let's open up a distillery. And distillery just did not take much convincing. It was a very cool idea.
We're a craft distillery, so it's a small distillery. Typically that's under 50,000 gallons a year.
Micro distilleries are just beginning to take off like microbreweries did in the 70s and the 90s. So the timing was right. There's a lot of interest these days in craft spirits and in artisan foods generally. So everything just kind of lined up right.
Kentucky in general, people seem better educated about spirits. They're really passionate. And Bowling Green's been wonderful to us. Everyone's loves what we're doing. They're thrilled that we're here. Bowling Green has a great downtown, and there seemed to be some sort of renovation and reclamation of the downtown. And there were some, cool new companies moving to the downtown area, and they wanted to revitalize this. We make gin, absinthe, vanilla vodka. We have some experimental whiskeys and a spiced rum. We use a little bit different process with our gin, and what we use is something called a Carter head. And a Carter head, or a gin head as it's sometimes called, there are only a handful of Carter head type stills in the world. And what it does is, rather than putting your botanicals in the alcohol and then distilling, you're actually distilling just the alcohol, and the alcohol goes as a vapor through a botanical basket. And what that does is it captures the flavor of the gin, but it leaves behind a lot of the heavier oils. And so it gives you a much smoother gin that is less harsh on the back of your mouth. So we have a lot of people say that they hate gin, they don't like gin, and they try our gin, and they say, we really like that. So we're very proud of that. And we were fortunate to win a gold medal after only being open 3 months, so we were thrilled. Absinthe is a spirit that was illegal until 2007 in America. The reason why it was made illegal is because it was believed to be psychotropic. The FDA did some tests and found that this chemical was in a lot of spices. It was in rosemary, thyme, and so they had to allow it to be legalized. We went with a red absinthe because most of the absinthes are green, and but we did see that there had been a lot of red absinthes made in Spain. And to our knowledge, there were no red absinthes being made in the United States. So we wanted something just a little bit different. And we started playing with hibiscus, which is what we use to color our absinthe. And we liked the taste it was giving us, so we went with it.
Vanilla bean vodka is our simplest spirit. Fortunately, it's one of the most popular because it is so simple to make, but it is an infusion of whole vanilla beans in high-proof grain spirit, which we then filter several times through activated carbon made from coconut, and then we filter it further, and then we have a vanilla bean vodka. Usually vanilla vodkas are made by taking a clear vodka and adding an extract so they remain clear or have just a little bit of a tint. And then there's usually sugar added as well, so it's a very sweet vanilla taste. This being an infusion of vanilla bean, it's a very woody, natural vanilla flavor, so again, it's a little bit different. Spiced rum is a lot of fun to do. You take a silver rum, clear rum, and you stick it in a barrel. Traditionally, those go in used barrels, used whiskey barrels or used wine barrels. And then we spice it with a bunch of different spices. Orange peel and vanilla bean, whole vanilla bean, are the two main flavorants. But we get a lot of the nutmeg, the cinnamon, the clove, the anise coming through. When you mix it with a Coke or another mixer, though you still taste each spice, and a lot of people really like that. So when they try our stuff, they're like, this is really different. So although it is a spiced rum, it's not really like a spiced rum that's on the market at the moment. So that's what we were going for.
Well, we're going towards brown spirits. Most microdistilleries start with white spirits while they're aging their brown spirits. Whiskeys and bourbons have to be aged. So I think that where we will be in 5 or 10 years is we'll be distributed internationally, and I think we'll have a nice balanced portfolio of white and brown spirits.
Difficult economic times and a changing market have hit some of Kentucky's oldest distilleries hard. In the last few years, some have shut down their stills and closed their doors. So the rising popularity of these micro distilleries is a good sign for the future of one of Kentucky's signature industries. From distilleries to horses to mountains, big lakes and wetlands in the West, our great Commonwealth has it all. And we'll be showing you more of it on the next Kentucky Life.